Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the hottest hour on your TV. Oh yes, that's undisputable. We can't dispute that. I'm your host Robert White and welcome to Bunji. Of course, it happens every Friday between 8 and 9. And we start, of course, with our Bunji news as per usual. The Haitian Art Week will be held from the 23rd to the 27th June at the Alliance Francaise. Monday opening night of exhibition 6:30 to 8 p.m. On Wednesday 6:30 to 8 p.m. as well, and on Friday 5:30 to 7:30. But it opens daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right, and that's the Haitian Art Week, which will be held at the Alliance Francaise. Queen Elizabeth has honored, yes man, Grenadians have been honored by the Queen. 10 Grenadians this year have been honored for their services and contributions ranging from education to tourism and culture. Jean Augustine has received the Commander of the Order of the British Empire, and that's CBE, for her services to education and politics. Russell Fielding and Anne Hopkins have been appointed officers of the Order of the British Empire, and that's OBE, for contributions to the tourism industry and services to nursing respectively. The member of the British Empire was awarded to Jean Griffith for services to the community and the Sickle Cell Association, Vincent Moraine for his services to education and community development, and Francis Redhead for his contributions to culture. 4 persons have been honored British Empire medals, and that's BEM. Maureen Charles for services to the community and the Dorothy Hopkins Center, Wilfred Harris for community, Peggy Nesfield for community service, and Christopher Peterkin for his services in the public service. So that was our Bunji news, and this evening we are extremely happy to introduce our new segment, Spice Mash Shake-Up. And that's intended to give you information on the latest development as far as the Spice Mass is how the Spice Mass is progressing. You know, what activity happens where, every week there's something happening. Good, so you get an idea of where it's at, what's happening, and that's what it is, Spice Mass Shake-Up. And this evening we're extremely happy to introduce Keisha with Spice Mass Shake-Up.
This is your Spice Mash Shake-Up, and here's what's going on for your week and for the weekend. On Sunday, you can visit Jab Jab Village, where the real Jab Jab will display the traditional Jab Jab Mass. And on Wednesday, you can go up to Moya Junction, where they'll have Hot Wednesday. It's going to be an evening of fun and excitement. And if that's not enough excitement for you, then you can head up to Shy's Bar Victoria for Tabanka Wednesday. As the name suggests, it should be loads of fun. Then we head back down to Tantine St. George's, to the back of the PWU building for the Spice Mass Corporation in conjunction with YT for Carnival City. It's going to be a night of excitement. We have international artists, local artists, food, music, and loads of fun. So make sure and be there from 9 p.m. at the back of the PWU building for Waggy in conjunction with Spice Mass Carnival City. For information and updates for Carnival 2014, you can visit www.spicemassgrenada.com. That's www.spicemassgrenada.com. That was your Spice Mass Shaker. Robert, back to you.
Thank you, Keisha, and we'll see you again next week. So we take a break, and when we come back, our first guest in studio.
Bunji, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of a spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Bunji, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bunji, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Diversity. The 21st century imperative.
Diversity in education.
diverse in health, accepting everyone
for who they are, the way they are.
A message from the Wesley College Young Leaders.
Welcome back, and we have our first guest in studio, as we did promise just before the break. The gentleman is a well-known face in the music industry in Grenada. Yes, man, of course. He is Mr. Brian Sylvester, and he is here today in his capacity as representative of the Angel Harps, and that's Republic Bank Angel Harps Steel Orchestra. Brian, welcome to Bunjay.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
Oh, good.
I see you have your insignia on your chest, boy. Wearing it proudly.
Well, boy, you know, it's an institution that will be 50 years very soon, you know. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. 50 years next year. Celebrating 50 years next year. So it's something that we all are proud of.
I mean, that calls for a Bunjay, boy. Yeah, they've been around long. So, Brian, tell me something. Are there any members, any original members of the Angel Harps, founding members, still around?
Yeah, there you know, a couple of the guys are around. A lot of the guys have migrated. Some have passed on, but there's still one or two still plays. I mean, Leroy Stevens, Malu. Malu is one of the older Vanguard members, you know, who's been around through thick and thin in the days when, you know, you couldn't associate your daughter with a steel band, or you couldn't.
Or even your son. Bunjay, that is what the boy come to. Gonna play steel band.
You know, you had to run away to go and play steel band. And if you find out that your daughter involved with a steel band, man, she get punished. You know, but it was a long time ago.
Steel band has come a long way. You know, I mean, now we hear pan in church and pan in other areas of reverence and so on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have a lot of pan players who are doctors, who are nurses, who are professions, you know, lawyers who have gone on to graduate, and some people have even tutored in university. I mean, there's pan being taught in universities all over the world. So,
Brian, you know, I mean, we speak of the accomplishments of pan, and the fact that it has come a long way. You know what pains me in all of this? I learned recently that the person who owns the patent for pan is not a West Indian.
That wouldn't surprise me, quite frankly. You know, I think we are people with a history of not acknowledging what is ours and trying to preserve it. You know, so it doesn't surprise me. It truly doesn't surprise me.
Well, it did surprise me, and more than that, it hurt me too, boy. I mean, this is. But I tell you something. In our hearts, we know that pan is our thing.
It is. It is our thing.
And we may not make the money, and we may probably have to ask permission, please, you know, to get a steel band. But we do know, you know,
it is our thing. It was, you know, it was, you know, born and bred in the Caribbean.
Yes.
You know, some people say Trinidad is their birthplace, but we're not too sure about that. But that's another story, another day, another topic.
If we start that discussion today, we're in trouble. If we start that discussion today, we're in trouble. So let's go back to Angel Harps. So what's happening for this year? I know by now you must be in rehearsal mode.
Well, we are not fully yet, primarily because, you know, the band is a lot younger. You have more, you know, it's probably 70% student. So you do have to wait until they finish their exams and that sort of thing for them to come in, you know, because one thing we stress is that, you know, you have to get an education. No matter if you figure pan is your future, you want to be here, you want to play music, you know, but, you know, there must be a basis. Education must be a basis. So we instill that the kids, you know, try and put their best foot forward when it comes to the exams, you know, time off from that, and then after that we go fully into the thing.
Tell me, how do you police that particular policy? I mean, you must do well in school. You have to make sure you put your best foot forward, and so how do you police that?
We try to work closely with the parents. We try to keep the parents involved. We do have an arm of the band that is parent oriented. It's strictly for parents, and, you know, we try to stay close to the parents. You know, at the end of each carnival season, we look at sort of like a year end. You know, we come together. We have a little gathering, however you want to call it, a fete, a band fete. You know, somewhere that you can relax out of the pan yard, be more social, and we recognize the students who have done well every year. So it's something again for them to look forward to.
That's good.
We help them with a little funding for books and that sort of thing. Our sponsor comes through with an account for them. So there is motivation from the organization for students to do well. I mean, every day we see them, whether it's once a week, twice a week, we touch base with them and say, hey, how's school going? Let them see that we're also interested in that aspect of their lives.
So it's not just about PAN, it's about the development.
It's about development of youths.
Yes.
That's one of the things I've always said, the steel band movement is, if not the only, but it is a major contribution. The composition of the steel band movement is probably 70% youth. And by that I'm saying, I'm talking about kids between the age of 10 and 18, quite a bit of it. And I don't think there's any other organization, locally that, has that quantum of young people involved, It's something we are proud of.
Great. And we're speaking with Brian Sylvester from the Republic Bank Angel Harp Steel Orchestra. It's filling us in on, how they do what they do. Some very interesting points coming out here. But Brian, how do you funding? I mean, although we wanted to focus on Carnival a bit too, but let's speak about funding. How do you keep your steel band movement going? I mean, given that you play once a year for a prize, I mean, what happens between one panorama and another to keep the steel band glued and cohesive and operating and financially viable?
Well, what tends to happen is that after Carnival, we take a little break. Guys take a break from the Parnet for about 2 to 3 weeks. Then we start our learners program. While it is not a program that is there for the income, because it's just a small fee we charge anybody coming into this program, a small registration fee. It's not something that we make fund off of. But we play in hotels. We get calls for weddings and that sort of engagements. We do play at the cruise ship terminal. There's a small group after Carnival that stays together. It's just basically the nucleus of the organization, and we also offer them a monetary contribution for their efforts. Okay. So that is a part of the income. That is where our major income comes from outside of Carnival. So that's basically it. It's like I say, it takes money to run an organization. The greatest spend is around Carnival, because the band grows from about 30 active people in the off Carnival season to between now and on August, close to, if you include the junior section of the band and the senior section of the band, there's a bit of crossover there. But you're talking upwards of 120 people in total.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is the size of your average size of your panorama? And now we're going into the Carnival season. What's the average size of your panorama side?
The average size of the senior band has been around 65. We've been averaging around 65. This year we hope to get it to about 70, 75. A little. We hope to include a bit more of the younger players from the junior band who's a little more technically advanced now, so that they can come into the senior band and grow the senior band somewhat. Our ranger keep asking for 100 players, but it's not easy. But everybody with all their commitments, from year to year, you do find some people can't make it for 1 year, so you have to refill that place. So sometimes another you grow, you may stay the same number, but with a different composition. The junior band would be close to about 90. I think 95 was the number it was capped at last year.
So they're heading towards 100.
They're heading towards 100. It's something we have to slowly grow it. I mean, again, the more it grows, the more it's an additional cost, because you have to find instruments.
That's correct.
It's not an easy thing.
You speak about the challenge of maintaining your numbers and growing your numbers. And I have been in an organization for the last 25 years too. And I realize sometimes you get a feeling that you want to, because this thing happens around people's lives otherwise.
Exactly.
And you get a feeling sometimes you wish they could postpone the pregnancy, you wish they could not go off to school, and so many things happen that in the normal course of life, because you have to fit the steel band and the extracurricular activities inside of those things. So it's a challenge.
That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why in early 80s. we realized that there was a need for a feeding program, in the sense that we needed to feed the senior band, because every year we'd have people who can't play or would have migrated for some reason or the other, or like you say, can't play because of some reason. They may have now found a job. Depending on the job, they may have changed their job. They're now working shift. It's difficult for them. You know, they may have gotten married. They now have a wife or a husband. They have children.
Life goes on.
Life goes on. You know, so we introduced that program to started feeding into the senior band,
Right.
and you know, it has come true for us. It has paid off. So we have been able through that to sort of, you know, keep our numbers between 60, 65, 70 in the senior band. You know, so like I say, it's a challenge. You know, we look at Angel House as an institution, not just a steel band,
Right.
but more of an institution where if you have someone coming in being around from let's say from the age of 10, there's a lot of things that you can instill in that young child's life to guide them and to put them on a proper path for life.
Right.
You know, so even if they play for the band 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years, and they want to move on, we congratulate them. You know, it's one thing they wouldn't do is forget where they come from.
Great. And as we wrap up now, because we have to, it's amazing how the time flies here. Tell us your selections for this year and how far you have advanced. Well, you did say that you have not actually started in serious.
Well, the senior tune is not far from finish. The arranger has slowed, James Clarkson, he has slowed down somewhat because, again, we're waiting on some of the kids to come in from school and that sorts. But the senior tune is called Bring It Back, Bring Back the Old Time Jams. So you would expect to hear quite a few of the old time, the traditional type of music.
Chipping kind of thing.
And that sort of nice jams, mind you. I mean, that's one of the things I can tell you that Mr. Clarkson does very well. You know, lovely jams. So
what are the youngsters doing?
The youngsters are doing a tune from, it's called...
Song of Pan.
Song of Pan, that's right. Thank you.
That was complimented.
Don't remind me that earlier on. You see,
that was complimented.
Song of Pan by what's his name from Carriacou, the young man from Carriacou, Killer B.
Okay.
Right. It's a nice tune released for Carnival in Carriacou this year, and the tune that the junior arranger, which is Andre Skeet, quite fell in love with. So we're doing another local piece with the junior band, but it's some Carriacou.
Good. Brian, we want to thank you for joining us on Bonje. We want to wish you all the best for Panorama this year. Yeah. Right? And we want to, at least you could look into the camera and tell your fans that you're looking for the title again this year.
Well, that's one of the things we always do. You don't go into a competition to come anywhere but first. A lot of the bands, we put our best foot forward.
Great.
We let the die fall the way it is, but we always aim to please, and by doing that, we aim to come first. The junior band is going for a 5th straight title. The senior band has won it about 13, 14 times. So, yeah, we're the band to beat.
Good. And that final word from Brian Sylvester, and he's representing the Republic Bank Angel House this evening. We take a break. When we come back, more live action on Bonje.
It's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonje, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
There is still a place where untouched beauty meets soothing experiences and a warm people. It is a place where cascading waterfalls meet quiet meandering rivers to join silky stretches of white sand beaches. A place where you are greeted with the friendly smiles of the local people, while the rich aroma from the abundance of tropical fruits, fresh herbs and spices fill your lungs. A place perfect for curious minds intrigued by 18th century plantations, a water-propelled rum distillery, historical forts, and petroglyphs that are still visible today. A place where you can go turtle watching, feed mana monkeys, and marvel at water-filled craters created from extinct volcanoes. This place also allows you to enjoy perfect year-round sailing conditions while diving the world's first underwater sculpture park. This charming place is neatly situated in the Southern Caribbean and is popularly referred to as the Spice Islands of the Caribbean. These islands are Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So come visit us as we take you on a journey like never before. Come, experience the rhythms of spice.
Welcome back, and you know, we always say in the studio something happens at times, and we just can't share it. But of course, we have to take a laugh. Every evening, every time we do the program, you know, we try to make sure we run our Bonjay moment. And again, as we always say, we try to find something that's hilarious, and sometimes not hilarious. Sometimes by the time it just make you go Bonjay, because that is what it's supposed to do. So it's not always a hilarious something. But today, our Bonjay moment is just one thing that just happened, and I mean, just had me cracking up. And if you sit back and relax and view it, you yourself will crack up as well. Our Bonjay moment for this week.
Bonjay.
So you actually hey what the poor boy behave yourself, folks. I mean, listen, you really do have fun in the studio. I mean, some things happen that we could share, and some things happen sometimes you just can't share. Today we could share what happened. I mean, weeks now we're doing that show. I'm trying to get poor boy to talk. A while ago I was trying to get a conversation with poor boy and Tantan here. Not a word. About before we take the break, poor boy been down trying to hug the guest in the studio. Yeah? All of a sudden we having a conversation and poor boy just
Bonjay.
Welcome back. No, I am sure this one had you. I mean Yeah. You know, it happens sometimes, you know, poor boy started to get friendly. But I mean, that's how I just said, right? So we take a break. When we come back, we'll have action on Bonjay.
It's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hey, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back live. Yeah, we just had to take a drum roll there, man. We're about to introduce our second guest this evening, and he's a well popular face, a popular name. I mean, yeah. Look, take a look. Mr. Andre Gage himself.
I'm good on TV. That's right.
Andre, welcome to Bonjay, man.
Thank you for having me.
We are told you're here representing Comancheros today.
Yeah, I'm here to represent Lime Comancheros and Associates.
Lime Comancheros and Associates. All that to make sure you get the sponsors thing.
Yeah, them right. Lime Comancheros and Associates.
Nice. And that's again an institution in itself. We just had a conversation just before the break with a representative from the Republic Bank, Angel Habs. We get to find out how long they've been together. We understand it's over 50 years. Mm-hmm. And I know Comancheros themselves has been an institution that has been around for quite a while and has done remarkably well. Today we want to focus more, not so much on the steel band side, although if we probably get a chance we could talk, but we want to speak on the mass side, because I know Comancheros is multidimensional, yeah?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
What are your plans for this year? I mean, what are you doing for Carnival?
All right, this year would be our 30th year actually in bringing mass, in portraying mass. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, yeah, so 30th year in portraying mass, right? It's our 31st year in existence, but 30th year in portraying mass. Just to give a quick history for the people that don't know, you know. I don't know, that would be a Bonjay moment if they don't know about Comancheros. But for the people that don't know about Comancheros, you know, we've been around that long. It's a mass band that formed out of the steel band. And historically, we've been able to keep the pan as part of the mass band over the years. Great. So no matter how big the mass band, you know, I've gotten over the years, we've been able to keep the steel pan as an integral part of the mass band. So it's
not going to be any DJ in Comancheros?
Actually, yes, we are 2 DJ song systems. So with 30 years, we get that big. So
Okay.
we have a 40-foot trailer from song provided by Judah Sound System,
Okay.
which is
Wow.
the best song in the nation, you know. And then we have the Comentro Steel Band, which is the best beaten steel band on the road for a number of years.
And you've given
provided
information on the best program.
on the best program, you understand?
Well,
Yeah, no,
Drum
okay.
roll, man.
And then we still have a mini system in the back, because what we've been able to do over the years is try to capture everybody. We try to be an all-inclusive band, meaning all-inclusive in terms of drinks and food, in normal all-inclusive, but also to include the whole family.
Right.
So we have kids in the band, right? And then we have adults, and then we have what you call a party section. That's what I'd like to call it, in the back. So we have a different song system in the back that provides music for just anybody and anything you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you hear. But we also cater for the traditional people that into the culture, you know, you're strong. So we try to maintain everything and
Okay.
maintain a balance with the quality of the mass.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. Mhm.
Tell us about this year and your sections. You get an opportunity to let the nation know your various sections that you have. I mean, maybe you want to talk price and all of that too.
Price. Yeah, well, in terms of this year, right, we launched 2 Fridays ago, right, at Port Louis with a media launch where we launched 3 sections. This year the Port Royal is in flight. We've been playing around with the theme for a while, and then we finally settled on in flight. So look for most of the mass this year in the air. As you know, we try to raise the standard of mass every year. So look for the mass pretty much in the air this year. A lot of action. We have a bat. We have a Thor. We have 5 to 6 adult sections, and then we have.
I want to play in Eagles.
Eagles.
You have Eagles out?
We create that Eagles. I think that's a basketball team somewhere. You have to make the basketball team.
I mean, how you could have in flight and they don't have Eagles? You have to have Eagles.
So we have Angels. You know, we have a couple of sections. We have 5 or 6 adult sections, as I was saying, and then we have 3 kids section.
Okay.
You know, so the mass this year, we're very excited about it. We're gonna bust out the whole thing on Sunday night at midnight. So this coming Sunday at midnight, we're going to launch out the Facebook page, the website, and so on. We're going to bust it out to everybody, and actually the first 100 people that register, there's something in store for you.
You hear that, fellas? You hear that? Not just fellas. You hear that, people?
Ladies
the first
and
100
gentlemen.
persons register, there's something in store.
And just to mention right here, as you see, fellas, right, we able to include all male in all sections. Let me put it that way. You're able to have male in all sections. So wherever your significant other is playing, you're able to play with them. So no longer you have a male section and then ladies section. We're incorporating everybody in the thing. So you playing with your wife and your girlfriend or whoever you know, and you're good to go.
Yeah, okay. You hear that? So you play your wife and your girlfriend and everybody, right? That's good. That's good. So it's the sections are all inclusive or
all inclusive,
male and female.
Unisex, yeah.
Right. What would you say to the people outside to encourage them if I decide I'm playing elsewhere?
If you decide you're playing elsewhere, Jay, what you gonna say that? Listen, no. If you decide you're playing elsewhere, no, the standard of mass in Grenada amongst, you know, they're like 4 major bands, you know, to be honest. And the standard of the 4 major bands is very high, and I think each of them offer a different product in terms of what you get when you go there, the price range, all of that stuff. But in terms of commentaries, what I can tell you from us is that you're going to be well fed. Your kids on Kiddies Carnival, you're going to get good food, right? Okay. Unlimited drinks. I'll take a chance here to big up some of my, if you don't mind, my sponsors and the drinks you'll get. This year is going to be absolute fun. So we bring on Absolute Vodka, which is a premium vodka for the party animals. Then we have Jameson, which is a Scotch whiskey, which is very good. Of course, Grenada Breweries, all the products from Grenada Breweries, you know, your Carib, your Stag, your Guinness, the kids with a little malt and so on. So we're well covered in terms of drinks and so on. You know, you're going to have a lot of fun. You have the best music. If you want to jump to a little steel pan, you want to feel original, you can get it there. Okay. If you want to roll back and jump with, you know, some DJ music, we have Black Storm. I don't think you get much better than Black Storm on the island. It says that. And then King Turbo to get out killer song. So we have 3 at the top. DJs on island.
When I join the band, I want to go in a section with drumming. You have that?
With drumming, well, that would be the section with the pad, because ever so often we had a rhythm section just coming across and doing it. So you just
all right.
We had a section with drumming, so that would be the section with the pad. You know, you could just go in there, the rhythm section with carry across the carnage, whichever case it is, and it's a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Great. So we're speaking with Andre Greenidge from the Lime Comancheros Mass Band.
Lime Comancheros and Associates.
Mass Band. What are the associates, boy, in Comancheros? I always wondered.
You always wonder the associates.
And associates.
Well, it is very simple. We call it PAN, Lime Comancheros. There's a steel band, and everybody has a play mass with us, so the associates.
Oh,
so it incorporates the whole of Grenada. We no longer St. Paul's band. We have become a national icon. You know, we've been around pretty much one of the oldest mass bands around, and I think I could clearly say we've won the most titles in Grenada Carnival by a milestone. We won 21 times Band of the Year, not including
21 out of 31 times.
21 out of 29 years bringing mass. And if you want to get real technical,
yeah, well, hold on. How much you pay them judges?
How much you pay them?
I
don't think we can afford that. Honestly, I don't think we can afford to pay the judges.
I hear one Calypsonian sing a song this year. He said, "Yep, it's with the complexion of judges, eh? Yeah, the judges." So,
I think the light too bright in that Calypsonian eye. It's either that or he didn't make it too far. One of the two.
You say like judges, Grenadians like judges who fear. You know, they don't like judges who dark. You know?
Honestly, I don't even know who the judges are for the mass, to tell you the truth.
No, but that's, I mean, I'm making,
but it's good. Yeah,
making fun, but
good.
That's really a significant achievement.
Won, just about almost every title that there's to win in Grenada Carnival, and hopefully in the not too distant future, we're gonna add the soca and the calypso aspect of it, which we think we should be able to handle.
Andre, let me ask you this: what do you think has been responsible for the longevity of the institution?
One of the main things is keeping kids involved in the band. Once you have kids, it carries on from generation to generation. I myself, I started playing pan at a very young age, and then you transition, and you get groomed, you watch what the elders doing, and you just fall in place and you do what you have to do, right? I think the revolutionary aspect of St. Paul's, being what some people call the home of the revolution. A lot of guys, you just fall and you do what you had to do. You know what I mean? You know what you have to do, and you just fall in line and you do what you have to do. So that has helped with longevity. Not looking for monetary rewards or that kind of stuff, because it all comes from right here. Nothing is paid, or everybody that help with the mass camp do it for free. The most people get from the mass camp, I think, is a free costume and drinks and food on the road, which is unprecedented.
The love for it. I mean, I know about the love and being there just for the love.
Just for the love. That's what it is.
Andre, we want to thank you so much for joining us on Bonje.
We do have your costume waiting.
I'm in the section with the drummers. Yeah. We were chatting there with Andre Greenidge from Lime Comancheros Mass Band and Associates. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
It's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonje, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
There is still a place where untouched beauty meets soothing experiences and a warm people. It is a place where cascading waterfalls meet quiet meandering rivers to join silky stretches of white sand beaches. A place where you are greeted with the friendly smiles of the local people, while the rich aroma from the abundance of tropical fruits, fresh herbs and spices fill your lungs. A place perfect for curious minds intrigued by 18th century plantations, a water-propelled rum distillery, historical forts, and petroglyphs that are still visible today. A place where you can go turtle watching, feed mana monkeys, and marvel at water-filled craters created from extinct volcanoes. This place also allows you to enjoy perfect year-round sailing conditions while diving the world's first underwater sculpture park. This charming place is neatly situated in the Southern Caribbean and is popularly referred to as the Spice Islands of the Caribbean. These islands are Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So come visit us as we take you on a journey like never before. Come experience the rhythms of spice.
welcome back. I'm getting better at this thing, you know. And it's time now for a video moment. And today's presentation highlights one of Grenada's young upcoming stars. I think she has a lot of potential. Well, like a lot of other Grenadians, we're full of that down here. So let's sit back and relax and enjoy something from Nikoyan Bain. She's doing a cover of a song entitled For Sure. Nikoyan Bain, our video moment for today. And that was it, Nikoyan Bain with a selection For Sure. Beautiful song there. And we take a break. We'll be right back.
It's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of a spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bon J, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back to Bonje. Well, our next segment it promises to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. It takes us back, way back to the days when Grenada rode on wooden buses. Some of us may not even remember that. But we journeyed to St. Patrick to have an interview with the gentleman who still has the art and still has the craft to build a wooden back onto a chassis of, well, in this case is a brand new Isuzu chassis. Sit back and relax as we journey to St. Patrick to speak with Mr. McLeish, Clement McLeish, the man who still is the only person in Grenada right now doing wooden buses. Good day. We are in the beautiful north of the island, actually out in Snell Hall, St. Patrick. And I am sitting next to me is Mr. Clement McLeish. We popularly call him Brother Mac, right? Mac as in McLeish. Brother Mac, it's such a pleasure to sit here and chat with you today. You're a man who have been in the furniture business, right? Manufacturing beds and all sort of furniture, inside work, cupboards, and the whole work for years. How many years have you actually been doing this?
About 39 years.
39 years. That's as long as some of us have been alive.
Yeah.
39 years. You also have another special skill, which is a skill that is almost dying. You're almost probably the only person on the island now who's doing this, I believe. And that,
I think so, because when I was contracted to do this bus, I was on the hospital bed.
Good. And the special skill, as you heard here, I was trying to drop it as a bomb, but he kind of went into it. The special skill is that of bus building. Adding on to the back of adding a wooden back to an existing chassis. And we know that is how transport was in the olden days. We had the Comer, we had Austin, these were the chassis that were imported from England.
True.
Right, and then people like yourself and others would have actually built the back.
Yeah, and that was very creative then.
Right, and we know of some names like Western Hope and Aruba Special, and some of the names somehow did not seem to have had a lot of buses in those days. Is it because of the distance from St. George's? They had most people heading to the north, that's why they had the big wooden buses.
Well, there are many factors, because it was very difficult to order the chassis from England.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you see, when you have one bus, it do somewhat different work.
Mm-hmm.
So that you don't need many. Because for instance, when we build buses before, like Katie and those kind of buses, they will go down in town in the morning, about after 8, and when they reach in town, they take out the hood of the bus.
Oh, really?
And then they go by Julian's or Hubbard's or anyway, and get goods to bring back up in the country. And then reach town for 4 o'clock to put back up the hood and come up with passenger. So, you had to be very creative when you're building the buses.
So what I hear you saying is that the buses before were sort of dual purpose.
Yeah.
So that means then that the back that you put on, the seating area, was detachable.
Yeah.
So you unbolt it, and then you had now the flatbed sort of thing, which and people would put up sides, and that would now be transformed into a truck.
Right.
So on any day you have persons who would have operated both a bus and a truck.
Yes.
Now that's interesting, folks. What we're hearing here is that the man who owned a bus also had it transformed into a truck, and on any given day you could do that. So a man would go to St. George's, carry passengers down in the morning, unmount the hood, put up his siding, so now he has a truck, bring up goods to Sotheby's, go back down to St. George's with the truck, then mount up the hood again, and up comes passengers in the evening.
Yeah, and during that time we had a lot of bananas also. So they used to do the same thing put the banana siding, going banana, and then pick up the bus and go and walk again.
Okay, and you have been doing this for 39 years. Obviously, in more recent times, you have not had the occasion to build many of these buses since with the advent of the full metal buses from Japan and other places, right?
Yeah, but fortunately or unfortunately, I had the privilege to build all those real hard ones. For instance, the Daihatsu truck. I built the first one for Dr. Raja Radix.
Well, that's Woody. I think that bus has his name Woody.
Everybody said to me, well, you can't build that.
It couldn't be done.
So I bring it here, take out the tree, and I bring it in the free and the home and build it, so that I wouldn't get a lot of destruction. And recently, my brother decided on to put one of those Toyota Coaster, and he said, well, I know you could build it. And you know, a lot of people think I couldn't build it, and now you have it going in tourist.
So wait. What I hear you saying is that he actually cut a metal bus, the entire metal bus, and transform it into wood, or replace the metal with wood.
Yeah.
Wow. In terms of durability, because one will say, wow, the metal bus is a thing. It is made that way from Japan, and you come here and you want to transform it. What do you think of in durability? The quality of the wood, for example, has been used. What's the lifespan as against the metal?
Those things last a long time, and if you're talking about looking at cost, when you have to repair one of these, it could just cost you about let's say $2,000-3,000 to repair this. For instance, the AC for a Toyota Coaster is over $18,000. So then
this one is naturally conditioned.
And they're naturally conditioned. So when you weigh the cost factor, it's much cheaper.
But in terms of the actual wood itself, because if you're repairing this one, you're actually repairing wood. So you gotta get the wood, paint it on, and that sort of thing. But when you're repairing the metal, now you're speaking of welding in some instances, and body filling and spray painting to your final color and so on. So it's a more expensive process if you do.
Yeah, the wood is much cheaper, and it will be done in a quicker time.
Okay. Tell me something. Back on the whole issue of durability, this is a brand new chassis. Now, in more recent times, folks been using an existing chassis, one that probably has made 6, 7, 8 years, or probably even more, and then they convert that into a bus. But this is a brand new chassis. So from scratch,